Hello everyone, my name's Chaz. You have to forgive me, I'm a little bit nervous as I'm not used to being in front of a camera. But we're down in the southern part of Ukraine to kind of show you what my experiences have been since I've been here in the country. First off, we're here in Odessa because it's kind of my second home. It's where I've made myself very comfortable. And second, during my time in the military, I basically served from Odessa, then into Mykolaiv, and then to the liberation of Kherson. In this episode, we're gonna meet a couple of my friends. One of them is an American named Nick, and the other one is a Ukrainian named Kola, who was my translator, fixer, all that kind of stuff. Then we're also gonna meet a civilian named Alex, who has just been extremely helpful to me, and he owns a restaurant. He's gonna make me some fun Ukrainian dishes. So let's go meet him. So I was just making a statement that I find it amazing that Odessa is a city that's in a country at war, and throughout it, since the day I've been here, they've meticulously maintained all their gardens and playgrounds and all that stuff. I just think that's very cool. It shows a great pride in their city and the places that they live. I just always think that's really, really cool.
Odessa is the largest port city in southern Ukraine. Russia loves to think that Catherine the Great founded it in 1794 by signing a decree to establish a naval harbor. However, that's not the case. The first mention of the city dates back to 1415 under the name of Kosoviv. Since then, and long before, it was a place for different nations who either came to develop the fertile lands or flee from war and Russian imperialism. Grain was, and still is, the most common good, being exported through the Black Sea and then through the Mediterranean to the rest of the world, just like it would be today if Russia hadn't invaded.
It's like 6:30 in the morning. None of us got any sleep really last night because there was a missile attack till about 3 a.m. And we're headed out to Kherson to go meet up with my friend Nick. Let's go get this show on the road. Don't leave home without it.
Due to its economic and strategic importance, capturing Odessa was a priority for Russia. Having taken Mariupol and Kherson, Russian troops were pretty much knocking on the door of Mykolaiv, another port city. There, they were stopped by the legendary General Marchenko, who turned the city into a fortress. Even though Odessa was never captured, it still suffers from daily drone and missile attacks aimed at destroying the port, as well as civilian infrastructure and morale. So when we were out here doing missions, I never got a chance to look at this guy, but if this was really human, he would be dead about 37 times because he's just riddled with bullet holes. But yeah, so this, like I said, this is an area we were out in, and the village looks about as bad as it did before. It's kind of weird too, because this used to be one of our OPs, our observation posts, and it was used by us and the Russians because this area went kind of back and forth a whole bunch. So like I said, we're on the Ukrainian side, so these are all Ukrainian bullets. If you go to the other side, it's all bullet holes from Russian bullets. So kind of wild, kind of wild. Yes, we just got to the outsides of Kherson, and lately it's always been dangerous since we liberated it. It's been much more dangerous lately. Last time I was out here, we caught about 600 rounds in a day, so we're gonna play it, safe over sorry. Go ahead and suit up, get our vest on, and all that kind of fun stuff. Yeah, so we didn't really have to go to Kherson for anything, but it's something that I definitely wanted to go and show because I think that's really it's very, very important to show the difference basically a year makes, because a year ago down in this area we're at right now, there was huge parties and people are out and they were happy and excited, and now it's kind of dystopian. You know, you'll see a few people walking around, but the buildings have been blown up. So it's just totally different. The Russians are now only 3 to 5 kilometers away. They've really been pushing the islands between us and the other side of the river, so it's become a much more dangerous place than it was a year ago. And it's probably best we get out of here sooner than later because, as you can tell, we obviously have no cover. So yeah, let's go ahead and fuck off from here as fast as possible. This is the infamous Tropy tank spot.
Yeah, so this is where we found a T-62 last year. And this was like the day that we actually went into Kherson.
Yep.
So yeah, it was sitting somewhere in this vicinity.
Yep.
We were actually in the village over there. And a kid that we were talking to told us that he knew where a tank was, and that we thought that there were possibly more Russian positions here.
Yep.
So yeah, over in this area that we can go walk through here is where a Russian brigade, or excuse me, a tank battalion was staying. A Russian tank battalion had been using this as a maintenance and supply warehouse. So basically our job was just to come through here. We were conducting area reconnaissance basically. So we were trying to make contact with Russian forces and to ensure that the villages leading up to the Dnieper River and Kherson were unoccupied by Russians.
Yeah.
As well, we actually were some of the first people into Kherson because we took a wrong we were just kind of like in the city, like, oh, hey.
And I wanted to ask, because it says, was this here when you guys came through like 10, 11 months ago, whatever?
Yeah, this van was here. I do remember this. And it pretty much looked like this, just kind of like destroyed. You could tell that when they had pulled out that they had been in somewhat of a hurry.
Yeah.
They actually really didn't leave a lot behind in this specific area when they left. There's some other positions north of here that we found a lot more Russian equipment and stuff like that.
Being out here, just living the life of a soldier, what's like one of the big differences that you've noticed compared to, you know, the U.S. military?
The food. That, and we were living in like houses.
Why do you think, you know, they don't have the big bases?
It's not really feasible. It would be immediately targeted through drone warfare, through things like that. It's very different from anything that we really were prepared for. Even when we talk about training for conventional warfare, a lot of things like drones and stuff like that, it's just something that, especially while I was in the military, because I've been out for a little while, it wasn't really something that we took into consideration because our team was the only one with artillery. It's very much a digital age war. So like every day there's something new. As soon as we have something, they find a way to counter it and vice versa.
Yeah, but then it's still fighting in a trench from 100 years ago. It's just like a weird,
Yeah, it always comes back down to infantry jumping into a hole with someone else. That's what it is. The drones and the artillery and the missiles make it more difficult for us to do our jobs, but at the end of the day, it comes down to that individual soldier and their, in this case, willingness to defend their country or take their country back.
So we are back in Odessa after our 3.5, 4-hour drive from kind of war-torn areas of Kherson Oblast and just getting a bit of tranquility by the Black Sea. And also, those are the first 2 ships I have seen leave the port since I've lived here, which is kind of cool. But anyways, we are on our way to go see my friend Alex, who's going to make us some Ukrainian, traditional Ukrainian and Odessan dishes. And we're going to try them and hopefully I'll like them. So, but let's go. Made him go to work today. Yeah, how are you? Good? Good. Yeah, so I met him when, kind of like the first couple months I got here. He's like, fuck. What's up, buddy? Good? Yeah?
Yeah.
He's my part-time auto mechanic guy, because he's the one that helps me find anything that's wrong with my car, and there's always something wrong with a car in Ukraine because of the roads.
And a lot of cars of your friends.
Yeah. Setting me up, I think. Here it goes. Man, you're just in time. First bite.
Yeah, we have something to take.
Oh. Borscht, fuck yeah. All right. There's one dish I know I like. All right. Borschtmark. Borschtmark? Borschtmark. Oh, it's not good. There's a lot going on there. Oh, okay. So, that's almost like tuna salad that we would get back home, but that fish is strong. Like, literally sounds like you have no money and you're just seeing like, what do I have left in my kitchen? And you threw it all together because you're starving. Borschtmark is not my dish, dude. So what's the history behind the dish? Like, what makes it an Odessa dish?
Because Odessa is a city bent of the sea. And a lot of fish here, and it was created by the sailors. If I'm not wrong, yeah.
Everything you find in the fridge.
Something like that. So vareniki, you know, yeah?
Yes.
Vareniki with fried onion and mashed potato. And this one, I think you don't know. It's like, old grandma recipe. We call it krucheniki.
Krucheniki. That sounds really good. All right, buddy. Thank you very much. Take it easy. All right, so we're off to meet my friend Kola. He's promised to kind of show me some parts of town that I haven't really seen before. So let's go meet up with him and see what he's got planned for us.
So we're going to probably the most popular market. Like a lot of actually Westerners call it the gypsy market.
Are we going down here? I know where we are. All right, so side quest for the day,
Yeah.
right? You're gonna be order some fucking fish. This is dry fish. That works. Yep, there you go. Where do the fish come from? Is it because is it because everything's mined? They're not allowed. Does it affect how people make money here?
Yeah.
Наш ассортимент был побольше нашей рыбы, черноморской. Сейчас нет. А вот это вся из заморозки, импортная вся.
So more expensive for you, right? More expensive for me.
США.
Yeah. Amerikansky, I don't know. Yeah. Just grab some. Yeah. Oh, that's good. You make this? Yeah. This is good. You don't like? It's like a ricotta cheese.
Так его никто не называл.
Thank you. I got it. Yeah. So like cottage cheese in America looks nothing and tastes nothing like that.
Do you miss home?
Yeah, so that's a two-edged sword, things like that. Obviously, I miss my friends back home, and I miss, seeing my mom, seeing my dad, all that kind of stuff, and being able to go see Kansas City Chiefs football because football season's starting. All that absolutely sucks. I miss that part of it. But I don't feel like I'm not at home here. Like, everyone here has been very welcoming. Like I don't feel like an outsider. I don't feel like I'm treated like a foreigner in a bad way, and I don't miss, people complaining that someone got their $10 Starbucks order wrong, or their dog therapist wasn't available on Tuesday, stuff like that you're just like, you're so spoiled, man. Like, this isn't worth complaining about. So yeah, it's a yes and no question, I guess. I'm really excited to see, once the war ends and Ukraine wins, like what Odessa truly really is without all these outside things playing on the war. Because even though there's a lot of fun, like you go to the beach, you always still have that in the back of your mind, like, man, there's a lot of people here. A lot of people is a big target, like, and we've seen missiles come, you've seen them. I've been at the beach and you see them go right over, you're like, shit, man, like, I hope that's not my house. That's a constant threat in your mind. So I really, really look forward to the day when you can just go out and go, I'm just gonna enjoy the beach, without it.